And in case you care, the audiobook I'm listening to right now is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. You can hear the garbage truck probably coming by right now. Welcome back. Today we're getting to something that I'm excited about. It's time to get this thing cleaned up a little bit more. I've been doing a bunch of all small, odd jobs back and forth. I have a little bit of a lull. I have one full day that I can work on organizing. So I want to get this all cleaned up. This is all my day-to-day hand tool stuff that doesn't fit in the toolbox. So you have sawzall, bandsaw, impact, drill press, all the grinders, my old electrical tool bags from when I was an electrician, circular saws, clamps, all that stuff. I want to get it all cleaned up. Before I can get to this though, I want to get that wall done.
Hit that like button.
The shop's a giant mess. This wall is going to be all like metal, steel storage and everything. Right now you can see it's just piled up garbage. I've got insulation, some old totes or empty totes for moving and everything. I got to get this wall cleaned off and I'm going to build my rack today. So the rack's going to be 4 by 5 square posts. There's going to be one every 4 feet. There's going to be 4 of them. So 16 total feet of support. You know, on a 24-foot section, it's going to have 6 foot hanging off each side, or actually 8 feet hanging total, so 4 feet off each side. We're going to have a post every 4 feet, and I'm going to be biased towards the garage door, leaving the back portion of this wall ready for the air compressor to go in. I've got my vertical riser laid out. The foot is going to be an I-beam. This is a 4-inch. I guess it's probably an 8-pound per foot I-beam. And then I've got 16 inches to the first runner, I guess you'd call it. And then after that, it's 12 inches top to top or bottom to bottom or center to center, however you want to call that, which basically gives me 10 inches in between. I'm only going to do 4 right now. I have a marking for a 5th one. I ran out of material. This is going to give me about twice as much storage as the old shop had. Not volume-wise, but as far as segregation goes. The old shop I had just 3 tiers, so I did like heavy pipe, everything else steel, and then aluminum. This way I'm gonna have it split up to probably all pipe on the bottom, and then round stock and square stock, maybe flat bar, and then aluminum. Then when I get this second one up, I'll do a round aluminum and a square aluminum. But I gotta weld the I-beam on in place because the concrete in the shop's not perfect, and so I want to have this vertical riser screwed and attached to the wall, and then in place I want to weld this on so it contours to the concrete. That way all of the weight comes straight down and I don't have any weird pressures on the wall. Basically these screw plates that I have right here and right here, they're just gonna locate me vertically side to side. Once I have everything welded out though, these are not carrying any weight. All of the weight will transfer straight down, and then this I-beam here is gonna stop it from pulling away from the wall. So if you didn't have this, you'd put all that weight on there and be pulling my exterior wall in. And they're 2x6 and they're sufficiently strong to hold a lot of weight, but this rack is likely gonna end up with at least 10,000 pounds on it. So these horizontal runners, which are currently almost vertical, horizontal runners are cut at a 5-degree angle. So once this is anchored to the wall, there'll be a 5-degree slope back towards the wall, so all round stock and stuff like that should roll in rather than accidentally rolling off. They're also made out of 14 gauge, 2-inch square tube. It should be sufficiently strong. The reason I use that is because I have it. Nothing special. The reason I use this I-beam is because it's heavy enough to handle it, but I also have it. So anyways, same thing with this. This is not the most ideal material for this, but once again, I have it. I'm not spending any money on this rack, aside from using monetary value of something I already own. So I'm not spending money on it. I'm not shelling out cash. I mean, you can get into all sorts of different ideas. Yes, it does cost me money, but I'm not spending money. So let's get all this welded out. Like I said, the first one is this I-beam, and then it's going to be a 16-inch, and then a runner, and then 12-inch on center, or 10-inch in between. So I'm going to get this guy welded on first. Like I said, this is just for vertical location. It's not actually holding any weight, but it'll be a tab on either side to screw it to the wall. One tab will anchor into a stud, the other tab is just going to be anchoring to the 7/16 OSB that's on the wall. So let's get it welded. Before I kick on all the loud stuff, I'm going to be welding this on the MP210, the Lincoln Power MIG MP210. I have it set at 285 inches a minute and 18.5 volts. Run an 035 short circuit MIG with 75/25 gas. I normally kill spiders right away, but that one's pretty cute. So I have all 4 of these done. Not done, but to this stage. And my first one's gonna start right here. So I'm gonna get it mounted up, align this stud to the holes, and get it screwed up to that stud. Ideally, these would be all 5 foot apart, but my studs are laid out on the 16-inch centers. And so I need to, one of them's going to be a lot less than 5, the other 2 are going to be over 5. So right here, I'm 64 inches inside to inside, which 64 is an increment of 16 inches. And so I technically am about 9 inches past 5 foot on center. Which means longer stuff on this end, shorter stuff on that far end, for what it's worth. So I'm using this Johnson Squares digital level. I actually prefer the Klein, but I'm not sure where my Kleins are at right now. I know one's in the other shop, but this is sitting at 89.8 degrees, so 0.2 of a degree off from perfect. So I'm gonna slap one screw in here. The flanges that are landing on the stud, I'm doing 3-inch screws. The flanges that don't land on the stud are doing 1-inch screws. I pulled that in to exactly 90. I would love to say that was skill, but that's just pure accident. Well, I got the rack together. I'm pretty happy with it. I definitely want to add this last tier for more aluminum. Certainly having it broken up more makes it look like I have a lot less metal than it felt like when I was loading it up. But I'm pretty happy with this. I will, at a later date, add some vertical spikes, kind of like the Home Depot pallet racks have. I'll add some vertical spikes to the bottom so that as I get pipe in there, it can't roll out. I do have probably a little more than a mile of pipe total. I can't fit it all in here, obviously, but I am going to put some in here. But that's going to finish up for this video, and we're going to roll a 30-foot gooseneck in here and start doing some electrical. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe for more. See you next time.